Hello everybody, we're doing another live stream, but today we're going to be doing a half and half stream. Do some cross-stitching the first half of the stream, and then we'll switch over to do some more 2x KO. We might even do a little bit of training for 2x KO during that second hour, because somebody offered to kind of give me some pointers, and I think we're going to jump into like a private lobby, and he's going to be on Discord and going to be able to talk to me on the stream and stuff, point out some of my mistakes, point out some of the things I can do to improve. So we'll see what happens. But if that doesn't work out, then I'll just try to keep playing ranked like I've been playing over on 2xKO. So yeah. Stitching, and then fight. HTTPS Twitch dot and chat. There we go. As always, I'm dual streaming. One over on my creations channel called Chadley's Creations. So you can go check that out if you haven't already. But I'm also streaming over on the Twitch side as well in the Makers and Crafters category for the first hour of the stream. And then we'll switch over. And then for anybody that's watching on the YouTube side, we'll be switching over to my gaming YouTube channel within the hour. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But I'm very close to finishing the big section of this blue color. I'll zoom out. I'll zoom out once we finish the color so you guys can see. And then I think what I'll do is, after we finish this section of the blue, I'm gonna switch colors, and we're gonna start on a new color, and we're actually gonna start over on the Spider-Man side, so we can start getting Spider-Man filled in as well. We'll start from the top, work our way down like I did with this color here, and yeah, this color is coming along pretty nicely. I'm actually on my last thread of this color, so I'm hoping this is going to be enough to at least get the big section of color finished. And then I'll go buy some more of this color so that we have some when we're ready to fill in all the little straggler stitches that that haven't been filled in yet. Also, I'm probably going to be filling in some black stitches as well, just so that it is down far enough to match up with the blue. I have to do like 8 rows of black, I think. I should probably do that first instead of doing this blue color. Let's do the black first, get that out of the way. Playing some Mario Bros 3 tonight. Very nice, very nice. Did you end up finishing Mario Brothers 2 yesterday? Or did you only get so far and then stop? Okay, so we're gonna do like 8 rows of the black. Probably have to get a new thread of black soon. When you play Mario 3, do you play every level, or do you use the whistles to get through the game faster? Or do you play without using the whistles? Welcome on in, everyone who is here thus far. If this is your first time seeing me do cross-stitch, it is a little different from what I've been doing with like video gaming and playing the fighting game 2xKO. some of you might be returning because I'm actually doing something that you are interested in watching. I know that fighting game doesn't bring all the attention. A lot of people that are here for my cross-stitch streams really have no interest in watching me play a fighting game, so I totally understand why people would want to be here for the first hour of the stream and not for the second hour. I had contemplated doing this like every stream, where it would be a half and half live stream, where we would do 1 hour of this and then 1 hour of gaming. But then I was like, you know what though, like I want to have some days be devoted just to gaming, so that's why we're still doing it the way that we've been doing it. So and if you're curious what I'm working on, the picture right above my webcam shows you what the finished project is going to look like. I'm actually doing a custom pattern that I designed myself, and converted the image above my webcam, that image I converted into a cross-stitch pattern manually. I picked out all the colors that are going to be used by trying to match up the colors as best as I could, and I did it all like by eyesight. I didn't rely on like a software program to tell me what threads to use to try to get a pretty close, accurate picture, you know. But yeah, this is my next project that we're working on. My previous project that I worked on, that was a big project, was Ryu from Street Fighter. And I can later on I can show a picture if there's people here that have never seen what the finished product looks like for that. I can share pictures of it. All right, we finished 2 rows. Every time I do a row, I have to mark it so I don't lose count. Hype Vamp 37. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. I'm assuming you're here because I'm cross-stitching. And unless you've been here before when I've been gaming. We're getting close to 10% done. Last I checked, I was at 8%. So we shall see where we stand after all the blue is done. I don't think it's going to push us up to 10%, but get pretty close to 10% done. Plus, I have to. I've been really bad about posting like picture updates. Like with my previous projects, I was posting updates to my cross stitch progress like all the time. With this one, for some reason, I'm just not doing that. I'm just not posting updates as frequently as I used to. Hello, Hype Vamp. How did you stumble across my stream? Were you looking for anything in particular, or do you frequent the makers and crafters category often? Just happened to see what I was doing. I will forewarn you, I don't always do cross stitching. I'm not always crafting. You're a crafter and you like sketching. Oh, very cool. What kind of crafts do you get into? When it comes to crafting, it's just cross stitch for me. That's all I really do. And my projects, how I pick my projects, because I'm a video game nerd, I guess you could say, as well. A lot of my cross-stitch projects are also centered around my love for video games. So like my previous project I worked on, that's why I was saying it's the previous project was Ryu from Street Fighter. This thread is getting a little short, and it's also getting a little frayed. So I might have enough for one more. I probably shouldn't, though. Probably shouldn't. I shouldn't risk it. I'll just tie it off and we'll get started with the next thread. Get a new piece of black thread out. You draw and paint? Oh, nice. Very cool, very cool. If you're into watching people who are really good artists, I would highly recommend going to a channel called Be at Easel. Be at Easel is the channel. Here, I'll give them a shout out, and you can click on the name. I'll give them a shout out. You can just click on their name, and then you can follow them. They do some really awesome stuff. She's a much better artist than I am, and she does it professionally, I believe, too. So, but a lot of the projects that she does on stream are very cool. Early on when I found her channel, I kind of collaborated with her on coming up with an idea for a crazy mashup painting that I actually, and then when she was finished, she sent me a print of that painting. It was like a Renaissance theme painting, but the characters in the painting were from the Alien franchise, like Sigourney Weaver's character, an alien, Bill Paxton's character, like. Yeah, it's a really cool painting. You could probably find it on her Instagram. But I think we called it. We ended up calling the painting the knighting of the xenomorph, because it's basically Sigourney Weaver looks like she's a queen, and she's giving a xenomorph. Giving the xenomorph knighthood. Back to stitching. Yes, Jimmy. Yes. At least for the first hour, anyway. And then we're gonna switch back to 2XKO after about an hour of cross stitching. So, just got home from a private car reveal. What is that exactly? Private car reveal. Well, Hype Vamp, I appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for checking out my live stream. We're pretty chill place to hang out. don't get too over hyper or anything like that. So it's a nice place for people to just kind of relax and chill. Making sure there wasn't like a knot or anything. Go, mark that one off. Am I a fan of D&D? I've never played it. I don't know if I would be or not. I'm not much of a role-playing type guy. I would assume that if I were to play anything related to Dungeons and Dragons, I would play probably a video game centered around the lore of D&D before I would try doing like in real life stuff. Yeah, there's like a hair or something. Like a hair that got caught with the thread. Got hairs all over the place. It's kind of annoying that I've got hair like all over, but it's probably from my cats. You found someone that made an 8-bit D&D game for the Game Boy and it's free. That's pretty cool. It has 4 different characters. It's basically an old school dungeon crawler, fighting enemies and bosses, going down levels. It's fun. That sounds pretty cool. My goal tonight is to try, within the first hour, is to try to finish the blue color. We're just filling in some more black so that we get lined up closer to where the blue ends. Which is like another, I have to do like another 8 rows. So we may not, depending on how long it takes, I may not actually get the rest of the blue done. I may actually run out of color before that too, so I might have to... I was trying to get the bigger block of color finished before, because I'm afraid that if I go buy another skein that the color is not going to 100% match. Thankfully there won't be that many stitches left. How's my day been? Well, Wednesday was pretty good. Went into the office. Today was one of my days where I work in the office. Kept myself pretty busy. Had some odds and ends and stuff that I needed to work through for work. And a couple other projects that I was trying to like wrap up. Smaller type projects that I was trying to wrap up. How was yours, Jimmy? How was yours day? They reveal new cars coming out soon to the public. Oh, okay. Well, I know what is it CES that's happening right now? Computer Expo or something like that. Is it CES? Where they're showing off all kinds of possible products and technologies and stuff that are kind of being worked on at the moment. Computer Electronics Show or something, I think is what it's called. I thought there was something like that going on today, or was going on earlier in the week or something. That was nice and productive. My day has been good. I made it first time to Alfredo garlic Parmesan chicken pizza. It came out really good. It sounds good. Hey Lee, how are you? Welcome to the stream. A lot of black stitches that we still need to do. Alright, 2 more rows, and then I'm going to count and double check and make sure we've got the number of rows that we want to have finished. I'm only doing 8 rows. I could have done 10, but the last 2 rows in the 10 block of 10 has black stitches that kind of go further over to the right. So it's more than just these like 5 stitches that I'm doing for each row. So I was like, oh, well, I could stop at 8. And then when we finally get back to doing black as like a more prominent color, where we're doing black in other areas of the project too, like the outlines and all that kind of stuff, like the outer edge of the characters, we can come back and start filling in some of the black that's down in this area as well. But primarily right now I'm just kind of focusing on the bigger colored areas to reduce the amount of like thread that's being stitched on top of on the back. Because if I did a lot of the confetti and stuff right now, we'd have a bunch of strands that are going across the fabric on the back, and I'd be afraid that when I go to hold it up, like I'll be able to see those strands like underneath the lighter colored stitches. So if I do the bigger sections first, and then when we're doing like the confetti stitches where we got to jump around, those long strands of thread will actually be sitting behind the stitches, and maybe it just won't be as noticeable, if noticeable at all. The breathing isn't good, but it ain't getting bad either, so you're still doing. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that you're still having issues, but I'm glad that it's not as bad as maybe it's been in the past, or just the way that you're describing it. At least it's not really bad, which is good to hear. Do they know what's going on? Like, I'm assuming you went to the doctor and got it all checked out already. So, do they know what is causing this issue? What is the underlying issue with it? That's how I'm describing it, and I'll be seeing the doctor in February, so hopefully they can help you breathe a lot easier than you are now. February, the earliest they could get you to look at you. I would assume that if it gets really, really, really bad, they would probably just tell you to go to the ER anyway, right? So if it got to like a life or death situation type of thing. Alright, so we're done with the black for now. They said if it gets worse, I can go to the emergency room and have it checked. But as long as it's not getting worse, I don't have to worry. That's good. That is good. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 16 stitches. 14 rows of blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8. 11, 12, 13. 15. I gotta count again. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There we go. That is correct. Anybody else watching the new season of Fallout? I guess a new episode was released today, so we'll probably watch it over the weekend. Doctors think it might be because of the scarred lung. They don't know for sure until they do a CAT scan of the lungs. So you have prior lung damage, previous lung damage. Either way, they said it has nothing to do with your heart because your heart is healthy. I'm glad it's not your heart. That's true. That's true. I'm glad that it is not the heart causing these issues. I'm guessing because when they scanned your lungs, they said they think they saw scarred lungs. So they need to do another scan. Okay. I don't think we'll get. I think we'll get all the blue done tonight. I got half hour left, and we've got Whole bunch of rows. Now each row is like, once I finish 2 more rows of this length, then we'll have 4 more rows, but they'd be like, they're like 1 stitch less. Then we have 4 more rows, 1 stitch less. Then we have 3 rows, 1 stitch less. And one final row that's 1 stitch less. So obviously the rows will get shorter and shorter as we move down, but I don't think it'll be short enough for me to like get all of those rows done in half an hour. We shall see though. Maybe if I'm doing non-stop stitching, then it won't be an issue. Also, let me know, is my music too loud, like in relation to how I'm talking? Like, can you guys hear me okay? Or is the music drowning out my voice? My microphone's kind of at a distance away from my face too, so that could also be a reason why it's a little bit quieter than usual. I just have no real easy way of testing my own volume of my voice. Music seems good to you? Okay, cool. I don't know what they have to do. They think they might give you oxygen to sleep at night, and they're not sure. So it's not like you're dealing with something like sleep apnea or anything like that, right? You're having issues with breathing like during the day too, right? You're back from the Shadow Realm. Were you in ads, Jimmy? Did YouTube put you in some ads? Shouldn't have. They shouldn't have put you in ads because my YouTube channel doesn't have ads. The Creations channel doesn't have ads anyway. Unless YouTube is just serving up ads anyway. They did ask if I had sleep apnea, and I did say I did wake up gasping for air, but they still think it might be something else. You have premium, you just have to you just had to step away for a moment, okay. You had to step into the Shadow Realm. You had to step into the Shadow Realm for just a moment. Found out in February. Well, hoping all the best for you, Lee. Hope they're able to just give you some good news that it's maybe something that can easily be remedied after they can determine what the problem is. And hopefully it's not something that's going to be very extensive. I think this fabric is going to be really good. It's going to really add to the project when it's all said and done and all finished. At some point, I want to look into getting Ryu framed. Make a frame for my Ryu cross-stitch piece. But I also have this really cool idea of making the frame. Now the frame might be bigger than what it needs to be, but I had this idea of making the frame be the same aspect ratio as like a 4x3 monitor. And then around the outside of the frame would be like the border that they used on the actual like arcade cabinet, so that the frame would look like you're looking at an actual like the top of a Street Fighter arcade. And then just to make it look more authentic and unique, because then it would look like I have an arcade monitor just mounted on my wall. So I don't know what you guys think of that idea. You know, the Shadow Realm in Yu-Gi-Oh! Wasn't really the Shadow Realm. It was something else in Japan, but they called it the Shadow Realm in America because of censorship. Darn censorship. Yeah, I'm not that familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh! So that is a pretty cool little tidbit of information. Go for it, because that sounds like a cool idea. Thanks. And then for this one, I don't know what I'll do. If I would just do a regular frame for the Spider-Man Venom one, or try to do something custom that would kind of bring home the fact that this is for Marvel versus Capcom. Wonder how expensive it would be to make a frame that has a light up marquee. Like the arcade light up marquee. To like get the marquee for Marvel vs. Capcom, like a reproduction of the marquee, make a marquee like light box at the top of the frame, and then have this be inside the main portion of the frame, and then have it built so that there'd be like some kind of like a light switch or something where you could turn the marquee on, and the marquee would light up just like it does for the arcade machines. America likes to censor a lot of things. Like the guns, they didn't want to show guns on Yu-Gi-Oh, so they edited out the guns. I feel like today, if Yu-Gi-Oh were to be released today, and they were focusing on trying to target older teens and adults with Yu-Gi-Oh animation, like Yu-Gi-Oh anime, I think there would be a lot less censorship today than there probably was when Yu-Gi-Oh was first released in America. Because like some of the stuff they have on seems like a pretty easy thing to do with making it light up. Yeah, I mean, literally, whenever the frame is made, they would also have to include like a small spot for the marquee to sit in, and then also probably just have it be powered by LED lights or something as the backlight to reduce the size of the marquee. Like almost like using a LED panel or something, so that the whole thing will light up instead of having like an LED strip around the edges. I don't know. One of those cool ideas that will probably never happen, so. First thing is first. Ryu. Actually, the marquee idea might be cool to do with Ryu as the first, like as a first like concept idea. Is to get the marquee for Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. That might be a cool idea. That might be cool. It could happen. Just do it. That's true. But I'm not a carpenter of any sorts. I would need to get in touch with someone that could make a custom frame, and someone that would also be familiar with how to maybe create the frame in a way that would also be able to house the marquee as well. You need to do something similar to an arcade that you have. So you have an arcade cabinet that needs like serviced. Is that what you're saying? My one friend, like years and years and years ago, him and his dad, they built their own custom arcade cabinet. He still has it. Still has it in his house today. Every time we go over to his house, we'll like load up some fighting games and just play a couple rounds of some old fighting arcade games that we've played in our youth. I did mention to my friends about 2XKO, but none of them seem to be that interested in trying to get back into fighting games. You have some of the arcade 1-up machines, and you thought about adding lights to them. Oh, yeah, because I'm sure online you could find people that have already created custom lighting kits specific to arcade 1-up machines, like almost like a mod, like a mod kit or something like that for those machines. What do you think about arcade 1-up like going out of business? I wanted to get, if I were to get an arcade 1-up machine, I would probably want the Turtles arcade machine or the Killer Instinct. Either get the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 4-player arcade cab or the Killer Instinct. Might as well just get the Ultra version or whatever that cabinet was that was supposed to be like their premium model or something of the arcade cab. When you were a kid, I used to want to be a carpenter, but now changed what I wanted to be. Never really heard of that arcade. Arcade cabinets are expensive. They're over $1,000. Some people have marquees that light up and the control board. It's a real bummer they are shutting down because they had so many to choose from a few years ago. True. I would almost think that just the licensing things that they had to, like the hoops they have to jump through for licensing is like probably one of the factors, because like what are you gonna, like if you can't secure the licensing for different arcade cabinets and the different games for those arcade cabinets, you're screwed up. I messed up. I gotta back out the stitches. The fifth row here is supposed to be one stitch less. I wasn't paying attention. Thing is, I have no idea where I would put the arcade if I were to get one. Do you think you would be able to get the old arcade Donkey Kong cabinet? I mean, I'm sure there's people that have it. I don't know how expensive it would be, depending on the condition of it. If you're just looking for the cabinet and not a functional, like if you're looking for a non-functional cabinet that you would like to like refurbish or fix up or something, that would probably be less expensive than trying to find a fully operational, in good condition Donkey Kong cabinet. In all reality though, you could probably find the schematics for the actual size of a Donkey Kong cabinet, and you could make the cabinet yourself from from the different materials. And you could find a website that is that does like recreations of arcade art, like the actual art that goes on the arcade cabinet itself. And then obviously the marquee, there's people that probably have a reproduction version of the marquee as well. So like a lot of that stuff, people have painstakingly gone and recreated a lot of that stuff so that people can buy it for their own purposes. Sure, there was a limited time they had with game licenses of those older games, something like who knows. So sure, if you look long enough for one, yeah, trying to buy a functioning arcade cabinet is going to be expensive. If you find an arcade cabinet that's in really bad condition, but the wood is still in good condition, it just needs you just need to have the actual cabinet art refreshed, you would save a lot more. You'd probably save a lot of money just by finding the arcade cabinet that you're looking for and have it in non-working condition. And then you could convert that into, you could make it so that you put a PC inside the arcade cabinet, and then just really depends on whether you want to use a CRT monitor versus just retrofitting a HDMI LCD or an OLED screen into the arcade cabinet for the PC. That would obviously be the easier option, is to get a flat panel that supports HDMI or whatever PC you're planning on putting into the cabinet. But you trying to get getting those older CRTs to work with modern PCs is tricky. But I do know that there's I think there's one or two video cards you can buy that are specifically engineered to work with older arcade monitors. They output the proper refresh rate, and they, I think, can handle lower resolutions, and can display those lower resolutions pretty well on the monitors as well. Because obviously, using a CRT monitor and trying to display this a Windows desktop at 1024 resolution, everything's gonna look so small on that CRT monitor. So someone make a small desktop arcade cabinet, but it was for Game Boy games. Found at a flea market, someone was selling some arcade cabinets, but I seen They were 1,000, and I don't have that much money. True. Yeah, like working arcade cabinets, like arcade one-up cabinets. If you see any arcade one-up cabinets for $1,000, they're overcharging for those. Like, I think Walmart has a lot of the arcade one-up cabinets on sale right now because they're just trying to get rid of whatever they have in stock. And I know like the Mortal Kombat one, the Mortal Kombat arcade one-up machine, like I forget how much it was. It was still like $300 and some dollars for the arcade cabinet, but then like I know that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cabinet is like, that one I'm pretty sure is still going to be like over 400 for that one. Same way with the Simpsons. That would be another one I wouldn't mind having, is the 4-player Simpsons cabinet for the Simpsons Beat 'em Up arcade, because that arcade's super fun. I mean, it's made by the same company that made Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I'm pretty sure it's using the same like engine, the same arcade hardware. Well, the original arcade was probably using similar arcade hardware, and all they did was like change out the ROM chips for the program and the sound. All that information's online, I'm sure. It'd be easy to find out if they had like, if it used like the same motherboard and just had different ROM chips. Trying to save up for stuff that would be too much for me no matter what price. True. There's so many things I would love to have, but I'm priced out probably indefinitely. Like, obviously, if I were to continue to try to build my gaming collection, I haven't done that in like such a long time because we've been really trying to hunker down and pay off debt and stuff like that. So all like extra money that we have just gets thrown on top of whatever we pay to like our credit cards and stuff to try to get our balances down to zero and try to get ourselves close to being debt free. I've been wanting e-reader cards, but I found out that people are selling them for expensive price. Yeah, because they're limited. They were, most of the e-reader cards, like if you're talking about like for video games and stuff, a lot of those had like limited print runs. So the availability of those cards is pretty sparse, which then drives the prices up whenever people want to try to track them down, since not a whole lot of people have them. Talking about those cards that are for the e-reader on the Game Boy Advance. Oh. Well, yeah, I could, well, even that, those e-reader cards for the Game Boy Advance were probably also limited print run. So, I thought you were talking about like the Amiibo e-reader cards. I guess they're not really e-reader cards, they're more like the same technology as the actual Amiibo itself, just in card form. But the fact that they're e-reader cards from Game Boy Advance, then for sure those cards are not going to be cheap. because of their age and their availability. Yeah, we're not gonna get done in an hour. I'm gonna do this row. I'm gonna do this row and the next row. We'll call it quits, and then we'll switch over to 2xKO for the remainder of the stream. But if you're here, if you're normally here for 2xKO, on Twitch anyway, appreciate you stopping by just to check out what I'm doing when it comes to crafting it, at least. Slowly getting back into the swing of cross-stitching. When I started working on this project, I felt very slow when it came to stitching, but now that I'm kind of back into the groove of it, I feel like I'm going pretty fast, like pretty good speed. I would want those as well because I'm trying for all the Animal Crossing amiibo cards. The amiibo cards allow, for Animal Crossing anyway, does that make it so that you can immediately have them show up at the campsite or whatever, so you can ask them to move in? You don't have to go hunting for them. Got a knot in the thread. Now we don't. We don't have a knot in the thread anymore. But yeah, after I finish this row here, I will zoom out so you guys get to see what happened to the camera. Why is my camera not working? Stop. Okay, restart. Stop. Restart. What the heck, man? Everything seems like it should be working. It just doesn't want to connect to my phone. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna reset my phone. I'm gonna restart my phone. It must have just died too, because what I don't understand is why is it working for the one camera but not the other. So my So this camera right here is my webcam. This camera up here is my cell phone. And the cell phone is using an app to talk to my computer over Wi-Fi. And the software obviously is having some issues. And by restarting my phone, hopefully that will fix it. But yeah, that's what it is that it's two webcams being displayed in the same video feed. You could get an NFC, but I want authentic cards. Mostly why I want all the cards, so I can pick whoever I want. At least one of the cameras working, so I can see you moving. Yeah, I don't. So my normal webcam, I don't typically have a problem with this webcam. But my phone, every once in a while, my phone will crap out. But it has been a while since I restarted. It has been a while since my phone got restarted, so. Alright, so now we're back up there. Alright, maybe I gotta close this software out and reopen it. There we go. That's all I had to do was probably close the software. Do 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 do. Yeah, but when I get done, I'm gonna need a new phone. I hope not. I hope not. This is a Pixel 10 Pro. A Pixel 10 Pro, so like I better not need a new phone for a long time. Alright, let me adjust the exposure. There we go. It works now. Get an iPhone Pro Max 15. Is that the newest? Is that the newest iPhone? Pixel 10 Pro is like, I think that's the newest phone from Google. I do like the Pixels, the Google Pixel phones though. The camera is pretty good on that. I mean, obviously this... I wonder if my phone is like running hot too, because it looks like it's dropping frames too sometimes. Maybe it's not connected to the right Wi-Fi. Phone camera isn't working really. I mean, it is, but it's glitching. It's probably either my phone, it's either my computer, like the software is just being finicky. It might just be the software is being finicky. I don't know. Normally I don't have an issue with it. It's gonna be a little bit behind, like the webcam. So you'll notice that my hands are not gonna be synced. like it's going to be a little off on the webcam, or it's going to be off on my phone camera just ever so slightly because it's not plugged in directly through USB. I could do that. Like, I could plug the phone in directly to USB and then use the software that way. And obviously it would behave just like any other USB webcam. And the data transfer would probably be a lot faster and there wouldn't be a delay. But there's a slight delay because I'm streaming the video over Wi-Fi. So that's why you'll see like my hand in the webcam is moving first and then the phone camera it moves like with a slight delay. What I should just do is just buy another webcam. Just get like I have been thinking about upgrading the webcam that I'm using for my face, and then just my old webcam, use that as the overhead cam. You can buy one of those expensive cameras to connect to your computer to where you could do 2 cameras. Yeah, or just get another webcam. I'm not that worried about getting like a mirrorless camera or something that would up my video production quality. Not that worried about it. Alright, I need to mark off these 2 rows. So I have 4, 7, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 more rows to go. And I don't know. This might be long enough for those 8 rows. But let me zoom out real quick and then you guys can see what it looks like from top to bottom so far. So that's what it looks like so far. So you're starting to see Venom come to life here. Like where his eye is and stuff, and so you're slowly seeing that come into view. Because then once we get down to here, this is like where his mouth, the top of his mouth starts. This is only half. This is from the top here down to somewhere in here. That's only half. We have like another, as tall as this is, we have another section just as tall for the bottom too. So like this is going to be pretty big. So is that supposed to be Black Suit Spider-Man or Eddie Brock Venom? So it's whatever the picture is above my webcam. That's what it's going to look like. These are basically the versions of Superman, or they're the versions of Spider-Man and Venom. Hey Leaf Sheeps, how's it going? Thank you. This is supposed to be the version of Spider-Man and Venom from Marvel vs. Capcom, the fighting game. Which is why the Venom is like a more bluish color, because that's the colors they used for the arcade. The color scheme that they used for Venom in the arcade, so I tried to match the colors as best as I could. And also, I stretched the original image to be the proper aspect ratio so that the finished product will look similar to what you would see if you were actually playing the arcade as well. You've been working while working on a puzzle. Nice. Very nice. But yes, like I said before, we're going to be we're switching over to 2XKO now. It says we're at 9%. I'm 3 stitches away from 4,000 stitches. It's Eddie Brock in MVC1. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is, because it is Eddie Brock, because he when you do certain moves, don't they show Eddie Brock underneath? Or maybe that's just like his intro animation shows Venom like going over Eddie when you're ready to fight. But yeah, 3 more stitches and we would have been at 4,000 stitches. So, but yeah, we reached the 9% complete mark. So, also Spruce Goose, how's it going? Welcome on in. So close, yeah, so close. I was thinking we might get to 10% tonight, but maybe if well, no, 10%. I'd have to do like another 600 stitches, 600 or 700 stitches just to get to 10%. We're not doing that all in one night, so. All right, cool. So those of you that are on YouTube, I will see you over on my other channel for Chadley. Just give me about 5 minutes and I'll set up the stream for over there. Those of you that are on Twitch, you don't need to worry about anything. You'll get to see me stumble around as I switch things over and all that kind of stuff so that we're ready to do some 2XKO. Spruce Goose is the one that was so gracious to say that he would help me with some learnings to make my gameplay a little better, to make my strategies a little better, and we're going to try and make it work so that he's on Discord call so that everybody can hear what he has to say and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to try to make that work and maybe do that for about a half hour, and then I'll end the stream with a half hour of just actual like ranked matches or whatever. So those of you on the YouTube side, I will see you tomorrow. Have a great night, everyone. Those of you on Twitch, just stick around and we'll be switched over to 2XKO momentarily. Bye, everybody over on YouTube.